extra salads, themed apps, and melt-in-your-mouth meats. It's a steakhouse showdown between Logan's Roadhouse or Texas Roadhouse. So who's coming out on top? When it comes to impeccable service, you can expect Logan's and Texas Roadhouse to differ depending on which location you visit. Like all chain restaurants, each individual location can be a hit or miss, so it's nearly impossible to say which restaurant is truly best in the service category. With that said, a peek at Yelp reviews for each restaurant in varying locations seems to indicate that, more often than not, Texas Roadhouse comes out on top in terms of service. Reviewers claim that food arrives quickly, any mistakes made are handled promptly, and most times, Texas Roadhouse tends to get you seated quickly. On the flip side, some Logan's Roadhouse locations have frequent complaints about how long orders and drinks can take before arriving. And one customer even complained that their server took a long time to grab practically anything they requested. This could happen virtually anywhere, however, including Texas Roadhouse, since qualms like these typically depend on the staff, the volume of customers, and who's running the shift that night. As such, you can expect both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's to have their pros and cons when it comes to service. Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse both feature a Western-style vibe with a laid-back environment and intriguing decor. Both are casual places where you can let your hair down, grab a beer, sit back, and relax. With that said, you can expect Texas Roadhouse to be a bit more exciting, so to speak. In our experience, though casual, Logan's Roadhouse may not be as crowded as Texas Roadhouse and might not have the music blaring quite as loud either. Texas Roadhouse features many servers bustling about from table to table, with lots of loud whoopin', hollerin' patrons stuffed in booths with narrow aisles, all enjoying food and having a good time. It's not that you won't find that at Logan's Roadhouse, but in our experience, it's a tad quieter and more serene. Regardless, both restaurants have a similar vibe when it comes to general atmosphere.
Food, water, atmosphere.
With inflation rising as it has been, it should come as no surprise that both Logan's Roadhouse and Texas Roadhouse have experienced price hikes in recent years. And while pricing can vary by location, after comparing similar items at restaurants in similar areas, Texas Roadhouse does tend to come out a little cheaper. For example, as of September 2023, you could snag an 8-ounce sirloin steak from Texas Roadhouse for about $15, but at Logan's Roadhouse, it could cost a little over $17. Alternatively, you can order a slab of ribs at Texas Roadhouse for $22, but at Logan's Roadhouse, it may run you closer to $26. While these prices could very well be different on your local steakhouse menu, it appears Texas Roadhouse is likely to be slightly cheaper, at least when it comes to comparable items. Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse both sport amazing, soft, and delicious rolls. What's more, both restaurants advertise that their rolls are made from scratch. So, does either restaurant dish up better rolls than the other? Not really. When it comes to the rolls themselves, both serve up awesomely fluffy and comforting buttery rolls, although Texas Roadhouse's cinnamon butter is essentially its cherry on top. Logan's offers regular butter, which is good and fine, but it's Texas Roadhouse's cinnamon butter that really stands out. Either way, know that both eateries offer deliciously crave-worthy rolls before each meal that are, by themselves, enough to justify a trip to either chain.
Where's the steak?
Now for the main entree. After all, both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse feature steak as the star of the show. Believe it or not, both restaurants have lovely steak options, with offerings that vary to suit every taste bud. Still, Texas Roadhouse seems to have the best overall reviews for steak in terms of quality and flavor. While Logan's Roadhouse offers tasty steak options like ribeye, Maui skewers, and sirloin, it also receives reviews that are subpar in terms of execution. One reviewer claimed their steak came out so well done that it literally had ashes coming off of it. What we can say, however, is that Logan's Country Fried Steak is apparently the cream of the crop, according to some reviews. Thus, if you're ever in the mood for a non-traditional yet scrumptious steak at Logan's, the Country Fried Steak might just be one to pick. In contrast, Texas Roadhouse seems to consistently dish up steaks that are melt-in-your-mouth tender and usually cooked to perfection. Even if there is a problem, the staff seems to fix any issues relatively quickly. That's not to say you won't experience the same at Logan's Roadhouse, but much of the reviews we see tend to err in favor of Texas Roadhouse when it comes to steak quality and expectation. No meal is complete without sampling at least one appetizer, right? Both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse have their share of delicious appetizers, but one features more traditional options than the other. First up, Texas Roadhouse tends to provide appetizers that revolve around its Western-style theme. It offers spicy jalapeno rattlesnake bites, oniony cactus blossoms, and fried pickles, just to name a few. Logan's Roadhouse has similar options, like the breaded pickles, but it also gives patrons a chance to sample more traditional appetizer fare as well. Logan's nachos and cheese, traditional wings, and onion rings are great examples of menu items we'd expect to see at joints like these, and it's comforting to know Logan's offers them. Still hungry? You'll also find that Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse overlap when it comes to serving other crowd-pleasing favorites, such as cheesy fries, boneless wings, and potato skins. So when it comes to which of these chains has more appetizers that'll suit your fancy, it really just depends on what you're in the mood for at the time. When it comes to the ribs at Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse, the differences are startling. At Logan's, you can expect to get a pound of slow-cooked ribs smothered in barbecue sauce for the ultimate sticky sweet experience. Pair this with your choice of 2 sides and a drink, and you're headed for serious flavor territory. At Texas Roadhouse, you can find a similar deal, with the restaurant offering both half-rack and full-rack options, as well as ribs doused in a unique seasoning blend, all before being brushed with a phenomenal barbecue sauce. So, where do the two differ? As mentioned, it appears that Texas Roadhouse offers both half-rack and full-rack portions, while Logan's only offers the 1-pound size. In addition, there have been a couple of reviews that seem to indicate Logan's ribs come out burnt, which apparently left a bad taste in a few mouths. Texas Roadhouse, on the other hand, has an impressive rib game. All in all, if it's a really good rib dinner you're looking to snag, Texas Roadhouse is the one most likely to satisfy your craving. Salads are seemingly a quintessential staple when it comes to dining at a steakhouse, though they tend to be more of a side dish than a main entree. If you're looking for that wow factor in your leafy greens right before your big meal, take heart. Both Logan's and Texas Roadhouse locations have plenty of options to fulfill your needs. Starting with Logan's Roadhouse, you can expect to see about 7 options for salads if you include the 2 side salads. Choose between a garden or Caesar salad for a little snack before the main course, or dig into a hearty steak, chicken, or salmon salad if you plan to make your bowl of greens a solo affair. At Texas Roadhouse, expect to get similar options, with all dressings made from scratch and your choice between the side salads, chicken salads, 2 salmon salads, and yes, a steak salad. Texas Roadhouse has about 8 salads total, offering 1 salad more than Logan's Roadhouse.
There's no big salad.
They'll make you a big salad.
So what's the consensus? They're both really good, but we have to give this one to Texas Roadhouse salads. Their dressings are perfect, the croutons are spectacular, and the cheese is shredded thick. Logan's Roadhouse salads are tasty too, no doubt, so feel free to take your pick. While steakhouses are primarily focused on, well, steak, seafood is often a welcome component. In fact, sometimes it's even served right alongside its meatier and beefier steak companion. So what exactly are the seafood options at each location? Actually, Logan's Roadhouse has a bit more seafood variety than Texas Roadhouse. At present, Logan's Roadhouse offers its customers about 6 total seafood entrees, not including the salmon salad mentioned earlier. Choose between delicious options like mesquite grilled salmon, crab cakes, shrimp, and battered fish, to name a few. As for Texas Roadhouse, the options aren't bad, it's just limited when compared to Logan's Roadhouse. Take your pick between fried catfish, grilled salmon, and grilled shrimp. The menu also features 2 different salmon salad offerings for those who may be in the mood for a little extra roughage with their meat. As far as which is best, both taste pretty darn good. Take your pick for more options at Logan's, but there are still solid entrees at Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse both offer up the goods when it comes to dishing out delicious and creative chicken options. Starting with Logan's Roadhouse, expect to get a variety of chicken entrees, including traditional boneless wings, all with several sauces to choose from. The restaurant chain also offers country buttermilk chicken, teriyaki chicken, chicken tenders, and yes, even grilled chicken. The plentiful chicken offerings on this menu are definitely notable, especially for those avoiding steak or for anyone who gets a kick out of sampling fresh new flavors with each subsequent restaurant visit. On the flip side, Texas Roadhouse offers equally tempting options with country fried chicken, portobello mushroom chicken, smothered chicken, and barbecue chicken. These offerings also make it so that choosing between a steak dinner and a less traditional chicken option becomes a bit trickier than anticipated. Also, keep in mind that both restaurants have even more chicken options on their menu than what's mentioned here. So be sure to give each entree a once-over before making a decision. No matter which establishment you choose, you're sure to have a great chicken meal. Both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse have tasty options for drinks, with Logan's Roadhouse even offering up $5 swigs at participating locations as of late 2023. On top of that, fruity concoctions at Logan's Roadhouse have a cult-like following, as several people on Reddit appear desperate to find recipes for making certain drinks served exclusively at this roadhouse. Expect a variety of sips, including Roadhouse tea, wine by the glass, fruity margaritas, and more at your local Logan's Roadhouse. With that said, it isn't as though Texas Roadhouse is a complete dud as far as its drink menu is concerned. It too offers tantalizing options, with fun drinks like the Long Island iced tea, Texas peach fuzz, and many more to pair with your no doubt already delicious appetizers and main entrees. Oh, and in case you're wondering, both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's serve beer and wine. Drink responsibly.
Hey, dude, you really shouldn't drink in horse.
With all things considered, both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse are trustworthy steakhouse choices. Both offer exceptional quality meals with options abounding across the entirety of each menu. Unlike Logan's Roadhouse, however, Texas Roadhouse claims that its food is made completely from scratch, including the bacon, dressing, and croutons. We also know that Texas Roadhouse tends to get phenomenal reviews in terms of food and consistently delivers exactly what patrons are looking for: good eating at an affordable price. Nevertheless, Logan's has plenty of strengths too, some of which may even outshine Texas Roadhouse in a few areas. From the tasty $5 drinks to the impeccable appetizer and seafood menu, Logan's Roadhouse gives its fans plenty of reasons to check it out, even over its ever-popular Texas-themed competitor. Just remember that both Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse will vary in terms of service, atmosphere, and pricing, and therefore your experiences and even menus may vary from location to location. All in all, which is truly best between the two will be up to you.